Well, g'day folks, here we are again back at the dentist. This is obviously the first day of the set of treatment. Anyway, so we'll be going through a few of those things in this video and maybe a few ideas that I'm having for other people who are looking at medical tourism, especially when the dental side in Thailand. The sort of things that have been going through my head for the last few years, obviously in the preparation to move up. Now I'm going to cue that intro and we'll catch up in a second. Yeah, so I did drop a map pin, and there's again below, there's a map pin down below. Right, if you are coming up to the NeoDent here at Big C, it's actually right at the western side, I think southern side of the car park. You've got to come in from the main road all the way up this way here if you've got a motorcycle, with a motorcycle rank. And it's just pretty much on the end there. Professional car cleaner, he's next door. Yeah, and there's the Macro Food Service there. It's pretty easy to find once you get into the car park. But anyway, we're going to just wander inside. I am again early, but I tend to be a bit early these days. I've got nothing really sort of holding me up. Yeah, well, I actually thought I had some documentation here. One of the of course I've left it at home. Oh my God. Anyway, so one of the things that I have been doing over the last couple of years is, picking up, those brochures and things like that, which cover the costs. One of the things that became sort of quite evident to me early on in the piece is there does seem to be a consistent pricing with the dental care, especially when it comes to sort of major work. Crowns have a set price, but I think, and again sort of veneers, all these sort of things seem to have a set price, and there doesn't seem to be much competition from the places I've been to in regards to price variation. I think in Australia we did see quite a fair bit of price variation. You'd have your sort of normal dentists, and then there was I think just before I was leaving, there was a lot of what I call drop-in dentistry, sort of all smile. I don't know what they call it, all smiles dentistry. They were sort of a chain of dentists, and then of course there was other places you could go to, like not so much clinics, but more sort of training centres where the trained doctors would go to. And this is one of the reasons I've had to deal with, because my family was not an affluent family, so early on in the piece, in my younger years up through to my teens, my mother was always taking me to the training centres because it cost less, and again, whether the dentists there were really up to par. Look, it was so long ago, I really don't know. But as I said, I've had a couple of things done here over the last few years, and the biggest thing that's always been a challenge to do the major work is, I'm only coming out for like a week or 2 weeks at a time, and that presented a problem to get anything major done. This is like a major 2-month exercise. It could be longer. We really don't know yet. Hopefully sort of everything will be according to plan. I don't know how regular they are between visits. I know there's time that we need for the actual the orthodontics, or whatever they call the crowns. They actually have to be made and then sort of fitted. In the process you get a temporary sort of emplacement on your tooth while that's being sort of done. Look, I'm sure you guys and girls out there know about how those sort of things work. Really the point I'm trying to raise here is the fact that I was coming out to see Chanya, and the last thing I wanted to be doing was making a call when I got here, trying to fit an appointment in, fit another appointment in a week later, and sort of having this whole schedule thing interrupting my R&R. It was lucky that that's again why I had the what do you call it, the amalgam veneers done a few years ago, because that was a sort of a walk in and get it done on the spot sort of job. That was back then. I think the veneers were 2,000 baht each. I think they now list at 3,000 baht for the amalgam veneers. I think it's 12,000 baht for each tooth for a porcelain veneer. This procedure I'll be having for the top row here is 13,500 baht per tooth. But they actually will be doing them in sort of sets of 3. So get the idea how that pricing sort of works. We don't sort of foresee anything really sort of major developing in the whole process. The biggest problem I got is this bridge that I had done sort of so many years ago. So again, we just don't know what sort of damage is underneath. I'm in no pain. The only niggling pain I've had is this bottom tooth down here, which they can't sort of see any reason why it'd be causing any trouble. Again, it's just probably exposed dentine or something like that, and it's just tricking a nerve. Hopefully, with all the work that gets done, we'll find out what's going on there too. But it's not a major issue, and as I said, there's no cavity that they can sort of tell in that tooth that would cause a problem. But again, you really don't know until you start exploring. But anyway, so getting back to the whole thing, there is a fair bit of a cost involved. I will remember to, when I do the next video, I will remember to bring that brochure, one of the brochures I've got, which lists all the different pricing, so we can have a look at that. Chanya also sort of said to me, says, why did you choose NeoDent? There are cheaper dentists out there, and yes, I've seen some of the cheaper ones, and quite frankly, I don't have a confidence level in being able to communicate what I require and the sort of work I want done with one of these smaller, what they call single dentist operations. And again, you're going to be fitting in around a sort of a much tighter schedule, I think. Whereas a NeoDent is a chain. I think in our area, which we'd call non-chem, I think we've like that's our Tambon. Non-chem Tambon maybe have 3 NeoDent offices that I could count on the map. Maybe there might have been an overlap on those borders, but anyway, within sort of within a 10-minute ride from my house, there was 3. So they are a chain. They're well recognised, and the pricing is fairly uniform across. The one I actually went to up before I chose this one, again, it was only a single dentist in that chain office, and I was having difficulty communicating with the receptionist about my requirements. So I come down here because I've already spoken to these people before, and I know that they're very fluent with English, so that gave me a lot of confidence to actually choose this one. Anyway, so that's all that's really on my thought processes before walking in, and maybe I've got some more thoughts after sitting in the chair as I come out. I may get a chance to show you some of the decor inside there if they allow me to do some filming for the video channel, but I don't want to push those issues. I know that those sort of things can be fairly a delicate sort of subject. But as I said, what I've seen there is quite top notch. It's not grubby. It's not dingy. Quite frankly, from the previous dentists I've had in Australia, I think they do a better job of keeping things really shipshape. And I think that was the other thing that really comes to mind as well, is the dental work I have had here. Just the little bits over the 9 years. It's the style and the finesse that they possess, especially like the last place I was at, which was the Betty Smile and an MBK. I actually had 3 cavities filled without injections because they were only small, and as I said, it was really quite gentle work compared to the hand-fisted operations that experience in Australia. And again, that's one of the things that I suppose puts you off dentistry is, well, in my case, my last dentist was a guy, a fairly stocky sort of guy, and quite frankly, his hands were like, bricklayer's hands, in one sort of sense. And he's trying to get all that hand in my mouth while he's doing the work, and it's quite uncomfortable, Not so much the drilling, it's just, having that sort of, hand in mouth operation. Ugh. It really is quite off-putting, whereas, the previous dentistry I've had is, here in Thailand, I think it's cultural again. They don't want to cause an inconvenience to anybody. It's a very Buddhist thing. And I think that really, in my past experience, that has shown up very, very well within my consultations and work that I've had done, is they really don't want to hurt you. So they do their best to do an excellent job with the minimum of fuss and convenience. So there we have it. So I went in at 1:15 and I came out at 3:45, and I got a full temporary crown. So this is it's actually across 4 teeth. It's hard to explain, but we're doing the whole side there. They've taken the impressions. That'll now go away to to obviously the people who make the actual, I suppose, porcelain, whatever it is that goes on there. And that takes about a week, I believe. I don't know, I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but that's what we're doing now, and pay the bill for that bit. Yeah, well, so that's all done now, and the next visit is next Tuesday, so that's a week away. We will then be putting on the permanent crown across those 4 teeth, and then we'll be starting work on the other side. So it's probably going to be one of those sort of things. It's going to be a week-by-week visit. So anyway, we'll keep you informed on that. Anyway, bye for now. Look, really we're doing this whole series for you guys to ask questions about, anything to do with the dental sort of side. Keep the other questions for the other stuff, part of the vlog, for the vlogs. We'll just try to keep it separate. Because I know a lot of people have been asking about the whole dental sort of side of things, and even the medical side, but medically I don't really have any problems, apart from the fact that I'm getting old and I have sore back and a sore leg and a sore knee and a sore toe, and I'm not having anything done with them. That's just old age. But anyway, so all up, I felt really comfortable in there. I never felt rushed. What can I say? The experience here is, leaps and bounds over any experience I've experienced or had with the dental work in Australia. It's almost like a sheep farm in Australia, and it's in and out, in and out. This one here, they just seem to take really good care. And I have, there's the doctors there, and 3 nurses. And again, I guess, and that's part of the way it is in Thailand. In Australia, they just can't afford to have 3 dental assistants, working with the doctor at any one time, because it just gets so expensive. But yeah, I felt really comfortable. Anyway, bye for now, and we'll catch up with you, whatever happens next. The next video for this one here, probably in a week's time. We've got other stuff happening at the moment, so we'll keep you going and keep you informed on that one. Anyway, bye for now.